Donna Summer, 7:30 tonight.
Beth and I were returning from dinner. I don't know, it all happened so fast. One minute we were struggling, and then the next we were out of it.
You say they unscrewed all the light bulbs?
Yeah. We found this flashlight here by the phone. I guess he was using it to attach the bug.
Uh-huh. Looks like he took the service elevator up to the roof and then worked his way down from there.
Derek, what'd you find out?
That's what I expected to find out. Nothing. The types like that don't usually walk around with ID in their pockets.
Oh, damn it.
Don't worry, I will get an ID. Come on. It may take a few days, though. I'm painfully short of manpower right now. It's a pretty sophisticated little device. Any idea why somebody would want to stick that in your phone?
Probably for the same reason that Cliff Nelson disappeared.
One's meant to go on and on.
Clarence is dead.
What the hell are you talking about?
He got caught bugging Kavanaugh's phone.
Kavanaugh killed him?
Yeah, somehow or other he fell off the terrace balcony. Hey, Jody, why don't we dance a little longer, okay?
No, I think I'll sit this one out.
Oh, I think it would be best if we danced.
Edge of Night is brought to you by mountain-grown Folgers, mountain-grown coffee, the richest kind. And by new Duncan Hines Deluxe, rises to new heights of moistness.
Bye-bye, good old pie.
Duncan Hines cake rises.
New Duncan Hines rises to new heights of moistness.
This is the day of new taste.
Deluxious.
This is the day of new moistness.
New Deluxe Yellow rises above the rest.
Moisture.
A super creamy batter for higher moistness. Amazing moistness. New heights of moistness.
Now America's rising to a new taste.
Moist.
Rising high to a new taste. High rising.
Moisture.
New moistness. Duncan Hines Deluxe.
Delicious.
Bye-bye, good old pie. Duncan Hines cake rises so high.
Rises to new heights of moistness.
Duncan Hines Deluxe.
Deluxe.
I love coconut pie. Friends ask me why mine tastes so delicious. Well, I take fresh coconut, grate it, toast it, and mix it through the pie. I'm Mrs. Olson. The right ingredients are so important in good cooking. That's why Folgers is good cooking. Because Folgers has that just right, delicious ingredient, mountain-grown coffee. Mountain-grown beans mean more rich flavor and aroma than other kinds of coffee. Delicious. Try Folgers or Folgers Flake Coffee. Folgers is mountain-grown coffee. Folgers is good cooking.
Listen, I don't agree with Cliff Nelson's theory about contagious paranoia. I never have. But I do believe he was right about the ISIS building.
Beth, I need a little bit more to go on than just psychiatric guesswork.
Oh, Derek, come on. We've already documented 16 different cases.
17 including Dee Dee, and there's probably more.
Cliff is the first one to stumble on the truth. Now, he might have been murdered for it.
Truth? What truth? Huh? Miles? Will somebody please tell me what truth?
We don't know.
Chris, what do you think?
Well, Well, a lot of things point to the ISIS building, but we don't have a lot of tangible evidence.
I'm going to see Louis Van Dy first thing tomorrow morning. Maybe then I can figure out just how he fits into this whole theory of yours.
I'd like to tag along.
Beth, I'm sorry, this is official police business.
I really think it'd be a good idea if Beth went with you.
I don't care what you think.
Derek, I agree with Beth and Miles. We are dealing with what may be a unique psychological phenomenon here. Now, Beth's expertise may be very valuable.
As a psychiatrist, I may be able to recognize its source.
What, where I couldn't?
It's possible.
Derek, please.
All right. All right, Dr. Correll comes along, but strictly as an observer.
Gavin, I'm just starting to warm up. What's the problem?
Shelley, there's something I have to tell you. I was going to tell you before, but I was afraid of your reaction.
You don't like the way I dance?
Shelley, I'm leaving Monticello in the morning.
Where are you going?
I'm going to Hollywood. I'll be directing the film that Claire's in.
Well, that's great. What a great opportunity for you.
Is that it? It's a great opportunity?
It is.
I guess I was foolish enough to think that I'd get a bigger reaction out of you.
I'm happy for you, Gavin. That's a reaction.
Yeah, right, sure.
How about one last dance with the ladies, sandwich?
Fill it up again, Ron. You okay, Robbie? You're hitting that stuff pretty hard.
Yeah, well, I've got reason enough. The equipment's not working on Jody. She's fighting the messages. Again.
Miles, what happened here?
Well, we had a visitor. Somebody tried to put a bug on our phone. I'm afraid I caught the last part of his act.
Oh,
I'm
right?
fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. We had a little bit of a fight. The man, he fell off the terrace.
Oh, my God. Why would anyone want to bug our phone? That has to be a mistake. Well, of course it was. The important thing now is just not to worry about it.
It's early for you, isn't it? What happened? The video disco closed down?
No, I just wanted to come home. Can I give you a hand straightening up? Thanks. Yeah.
Any special reason why you left the video disco?
I don't know. It's just sort of losing its appeal.
Oh, let them stay. They're really having fun.
Who says car problems can't be fun? Here's Mattel's portable Hot Wheels service center for your children.
Looks like he needs a new set of tires. A new set of tires?
The more problems they find, the more fun they'll have.
And while you're here, better check the transmission.
And when they're all through playing, it folds right up to carry away. Mattel's Hot Wheels service center. Who says car problems can't be fun?
It's a fabulous look, city look, with savvy and flair. You're in for a change in Cheryl Teague's wear. There's more for your life at Sears. Dashing slacks, showy shirts, ties to go. It's Cheryl and it shows. There's more for your life with Cheryl Teague. In step with your life. There's more for your life at Sears.
Mr. Van Dy, Chief of Police Mallory and Dr. Correll.
Good morning, Chief Mallory. May I get you some coffee?
No, thank you.
And you're Dr. Correll. A bit early for house calls, wouldn't you say?
I'm a psychiatrist, Mr. Van Dy. We never sleep.
A psychiatrist with a sense of humor. That is very rare.
Oh, have you known many psychiatrists, Mr. Van Dy?
Not many.
Dr. Correll is here unofficially, of course. I hope you don't mind.
Not at all. My sister has given me strict instructions to cooperate with you in any way I can. Not that I wouldn't have anyway.
Well, good. Then let's get to the point. I'm here because of a growing number of unusual events that seem to be centered around this building.
Unusual events? That does sound fascinating. Around the ISIS building, you said?
That's right.
May I ask what Dr. Carell has to do with all this?
I'm here because several of the incidents deal with a psychological disorder that closely resembles paranoia.
How very peculiar.
Why?
Well, I've never heard of something resembling paranoia. Is there such a thing?
Well, now, we were hoping you could help us with that.
Well, I'm hardly qualified, but where would you like to begin?
Let's begin with Alf Mayhew's suicide, since that was the thing that first brought the police to this building.
Red 9. Why is it always a red 9?
Perhaps you should consult your numerologist.
I'm afraid I can't. He's doing 5 to 10 for fraud. Thank you for coming by, Mr. Whitney.
Well, I've learned that it's worthwhile to listen when you have something to say.
Yeah.
How much is it going to cost me?
Nothing at all. This is merely my way of doing a favor.
Why would you do me a favor?
Well, because whether you realize it or not, you need one.
Have you found Smith?
Yes. I'm afraid you won't be able to take advantage of his electronic expertise any longer.
Why?
Your Mr. Smith has checked into the Cold Hotel.
Cold?
The morgue, Mr. Whitney.
What?
Yes. At first, the police thought that they had Clifford Nelson, the attorney.
I know Cliff Nelson.
An impetuous man. And now, unhappily, among the missing.
What about Smith?
Smith, I'm afraid, was fished out of the Monticello River 2 nights ago.
There are 16 others in this building with similar symptoms.
I really don't know what to make of all this. Switched suicide notes, TV station takeovers, telephones being bugged, vanishing lawyers, paranoia that isn't paranoia. Is there supposed to be some sort of pattern here?
Well, if there is, we haven't found it yet.
Well, frankly, Chief, I'm not surprised. Even if these are definite crimes you're talking about, I fail to see anything at all to connect them.
Forgive me for mentioning this, Mr. Van Dy, but you do walk with a pronounced limp.
I see you've been talking to the Whitneys.
Among others.
Look, I know all about the Whitneys and their fantasies. I have nothing to do with their troubles or anyone else's. If a childhood accident qualifies me as a suspect...
How did you get your injury, Mr. Van Dy?
Happened a long time ago, Doctor. I was riding my bicycle. There was a car. I didn't see it. My sister was...
Was what?
Was with me. Are we finished, Chief Mallory? Have I satisfied you?
Hardly.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
But I will be speaking to you and to your sister again.
You've seen my sister?
At my car's fundraiser.
Was there anything else?
Yes. The minute I get a piece of solid evidence that links you or your company to any of this, I promise you I'm going to come back here, and if necessary, I'll take this building apart brick by brick. And if there's a conspiracy here, I'm going to find it.
Bring a search warrant, and you'll be free to search whenever and wherever you like.
I will remember that.
Do you know who killed Smith?
No, and I'm afraid I'm not going to be available for any further information.
Why not?
I've decided that a long vacation from Monticello is just what the doctor ordered, and that wouldn't hurt you.
What do you mean?
I mean get out, now. Go to California. Help your pretty wife look for Spencer Varney.
How do you know where my wife is?
It's my business to know everyone else's, and that's why I'm telling you to get out and away from Monticello now while you are still able.
You're frightened.
This interview is at an end.
Oh, wait a minute. You can't leave me like this. Tell me what's going on. What's happening?
This city is under siege. Now, surely you've seen it. The empty shops, the closed restaurants. Surely you've heard the fear whimpering from behind closed windows and double-locked doors. Look at the people. You can see it in their eyes. Echoes of Berlin, Saigon, Lebanon. The crucial difference is that there are no bombs dropping on Monticello from the sky. The horror here is drifting in the streets like a deadly fog. Silent, Some final heartbeat.
Wait a minute, why is this happening? Why?
Protect you, Mr. Whitney. God protect you.
Wait a minute, you can't send me out like this. You've got to tell me what's going on here.
I wonder...
Yeah.
I wonder if you'd care to escort Mr. Whitney out here.
Mr. Whitney? Up's a daisy. Let's go. Come on.
Oh, and gentlemen, I have some further need for your assistance. Oh, there are bags that need to be packed. Quickly.
Yeah, you got it.
You wanted to see me, Mr. Van Dy?
Yes, Robbie. Yes, I did.
Looks like little Lucy needs help.
She's soaked through.
Bargain diapers without gathers can gap and leak. You need a diaper with gathers. Pampers with Stay Dry gathers. Look, bargain diapers without gathers can gap and leak. But Pampers Stay Dry gathers help keep your baby drier on the outside.
That's wetness protection, right down to her toes.
Yep, fitted Pampers help protect baby skin against wetness right down to her toes.
You're late.
A day late.
Isn't this Tuesday?
The dinner party was last night.
Why not join us for leftovers? Cold fried chicken.
I'll refry it.
Won't it taste greasy?
Not with Crisco oil.
Looks crispy. Mmm, delicious, not greasy. And I missed this last night?
Yeah, this and Diane. Your date?
Crisco oil for fried foods that taste great, not greasy.
Hey, what's a tough cleaning job in your kitchen? Someplace you'd use Top Job.
These cabinets, they get covered by greasy dirt.
Right, but greasy dirt's everywhere, like walls.
Wow.
And no wax floors, and...
Countertops, appliances.
Sure.
It's nearly all over.
In fact, on the toughest baked-on greasy dirt, like on this range hood, Top Job by the bucket cleans better than the leading pines in ammonia.
Say, if Top Job cleans so much so well,
Yeah?
shouldn't it be called Top Jobs?
You're a very bright young man, Robbie.
Well, thank you, sir.
And I'm extremely pleased with the success of the equipment, the cable TV companies, everything. How many hookups do we have since we started last year?
Well, if you count all 4 cable companies, nearly 200,000. And almost every major target in Monticello's been wired. With the exception of one.
And that exception?
Geraldine Saxon's. She refused the service.
I ought to have taken care of her months ago. We should have been transmitting from WMON from the beginning. It's far riskier using the ISIS building.
Well, I really don't see how we're in a position to get hurt. I mean, thanks to the equipment from Grantman Research, the subliminal perception has taken hold beautifully.
Well, of course, you know more about that sort of thing than I do. Using yellow as the color to send the messages, finding the right intensity and frequency to attack the subconscious mind. Brilliant work, Robbie. And I must say I am delighted with the results.
Well, if you're happy, then I'm happy.
Although you have disappointed me in one regard. One very serious regard.
I don't understand.
Come now, Robbie. We both know you've been using the subliminal perception for your own personal gain. And for such a petty reason at that. Millions of dollars of equipment for the seduction of Jody Travis?
Derek, I'm convinced there's something very wrong with Louis Van Dy. Behind all that politeness and formality, there was something seething.
Well, they certainly answered our questions casually.
Yes, but we were looking at him from different angles.
Go on.
Well, I noticed the reaction he had when the subject of his accident came up, and when he mentioned his sister.
Well, I just thought that was the traumas of sibling rivalry.
No, I deal with that sort of thing every day. It was more. It was as if some little gearbox shifted inside of him. Derek, I'm telling you, he was having a great deal of difficulty keeping that self-assured mask of his from falling into his lap.
You sure don't paint a very nice picture of our Mr. Van Dy.
I'm afraid it's a picture of a dangerous and deeply disturbed man.
I'm only going to be gone a couple of months.
Sure, and the Titanic went down in a couple of hours.
Gunther, the play can take care of itself now.
Well, what about these ticket sales starting to drop off?
What about all the no-shows we've had this week?
Oh, those are temporary problems.
The show needs a director.
The show is already directed.
Well, listen, if that's all there is to it, I could have done it myself.
Great. You can direct Malibu Beach Bunnies 3. You and Preacher can take care of the theater.
Oh, I'm sorry, Gavin. I don't have the time.
Make the time. What is there to do? Make sure the bills get paid? Count the box office receipts?
Box office receipt? I mean, I'm going to be watching over the money.
Yeah. You and Geraldine's auditors. They'll be sort of waiting in the wings.
Auditors?
Mm-hmm. How about it? You guys think you can handle it, Preacher?
Yeah, I'll work something out. You can count on me, Slick. I'm in.
Gunther?
Why not? I'll take the job.
Now remember, I'm only long-distance phone call away.
Well, listen, you can depend on us, my assistant, Mr. Emerson, and I...
Say what? Your assistant?
Well,
guys, would you excuse us, please? I'd like to speak to Shelley alone.
Sure.
That's my theater.
No, let me tell you something real quick, right?
Robbie knows what's best for me. Trust Robbie.
Mr. Van Dy.
And here we have the latest assortment of Hamlin's 10 Commandments. I love Robbie. I should move in with Robbie. Sex with Robbie would be wonderful. You can see why I was forced to remove these messages from the broadcast tape, don't you?
So that's why Jody was getting hard to manage. I thought she'd found a way of resisting the messages.
And how could she do that? Without the yellow sunglasses to filter them out, anyone is susceptible.
Look, Mr. Van Dy, I promise you, this will never happen again.
That's very noble of you, Robbie. Perhaps I can be somewhat noble myself. Suppose I were to let you reinstate your messages to Jody. Because I am willing to do that if you do something for me.
Name it.
Despite his criminal record, Preacher Emerson is working for the police. In fact, has been for weeks.
What?
Under your nose, Robbie, from the beginning. He's a very enterprising young man, Mr. Emerson. And there's not much about electronics he doesn't know.
Well, how'd you find that out?
Preacher came here to the ISIS building looking for the origin of the cable signals. He spoke with Sky Whitney in the basement. I have every word of it on tape.
Well, what do you want done, Mr. Van Dy?
What I want, Robbie, is for Preacher Emerson to die.
Beefsteaks Wellington. Teriyaki roast beef.
Oh, Mr. DeLeo, a Better Homes and Gardens beef cookbook. Where can I buy it?
Oh, it's absolutely free with only one purchase of meaty-tasting Butcher's Blend dog food. There's a special offer in this Sunday's paper.
Only one purchase of Butcher's Blend. Milton, your favorite.
Only one purchase gets you over 100 delicious beef recipes.
Pepper steak Oriental.
Look for the free cookbook offer in this Sunday's newspaper.
This Sunday's paper.
Jane is writing her complaints about the leading mop and shine on this floor.
It's not my floor.
Doesn't clean well, not so easy. Now try new formula Step Saver on one half, the leading brand on the other.
You try it. It's not my floor.
Look at this. The leading one step doesn't clean so well, but Step Saver cuts through the marker clean and easy.
And leaves a nice shine in one step. I wish this were my floor.
New formula Step Saver. It's a step ahead.
Next week on The Family Feud.
We are family. Richard, give the money to me.
Richard Dawson reunites 4 famous singing families. Sister Sledge, the Lennon Sisters, the McRae family, and the King family on the Singing Family Feud special.
I just stopped by to say goodbye.
Will you miss me?
We've already been through that, haven't we?
Shelley.
Gavin, look, we both knew when this whole thing started that this was just going to be a temporary thing. You were the one who laid the ground rules, I remember very clearly.
Somehow I'd gotten the impression we'd broken them.
If you need to go to Hollywood, go. I understand. I don't want to be the one to stand in the way of your career.
Shelley, it's not a career, it's just a job. I'll be back.
Then, I'll see you when you come back, if I'm still here.
I have a plane to catch. You want to come to the airport with me?
I have some things I have to finish up here.
No.
Fine.
Gavin? It's for luck. You need it when you're in Los Angeles, believe me.
Shelley.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Twilight's my favorite time of day, Robbie. Lights coming on, the darkness beginning to move across the city, battling the sun. Inevitably, the darkness always wins.
Yeah, if you say so.
Can you guess what I see when I look out here, Robbie?
No, sir.
I see the future, Robbie. A beautiful future in a town that I own. Monticello belongs to me now. Every building, every house, every life is mine. Did I mention that today Investors Cable TV won a contract to supply service to the state capitol?
No, you didn't, but that's great, Mr. Van Dy. That's terrific.
You know, Robbie, I've been giving some thought to your situation with Jody Travis. You like this girl, do you?
Yeah, sure, but...
Well, I may have been a bit harsh with you. After all, a good employer knows the value of keeping his workers content. Therefore, I've decided to give lust its due and allow you your night with Jody.
Just one night?
That's all the time the young lady's going to have.
I don't understand.
I didn't explain fully before. You see, I told you I wanted Preacher Emerson to die. Jody Travis is going to kill him.
We tried. We tried to make Heinz home-style gravy exactly like homemade.
Delicious gravy.
We used real beef and beef juices like you do.
Rich, meaty gravy.
Stirred in flour, just the right seasoning.
Wonderful gravy.
We stirred it and stirred it, but what do we hear?
So close to homemade, but no lumps.
Maybe we stirred it too much. Heinz home-style gravy, so close to homemade.
If I could only stick to a diet. The real me is waiting to come out.
Introducing AccuTrim, 16-hour appetite suppressant. The leading caffeine-free capsule rises like this, then declines over time. The AccuTrim tablet uses the science of precision release to deliver accurately, steadily, breakfast to bedtime.
This is the person I always knew I could be.
AccuTrim, the only 16-hour breakfast to bedtime appetite suppressant.
This is David Hartman. Monday on Good Morning America, an interview with President Reagan. We'll begin a week-long look at American education. Does pass or fail? Also next week, Nick Nolte and Sammy Davis Jr. on Good Morning America.
Tonight, a lottery winner dies before he gets his money, and his son faces a fight for the fortune on Lottery. Then Matt Houston comes face-to-face with a movie legend and solves Hollywood's greatest mystery on Matt Houston. Tonight on ABC.
Friday, Clayton suing Benson and Krause as his star witness.
Either answer the questions directly or I'll have you removed.
Benson.
Could you do that?
Then Webster's longing for his parents.
I hate them for dying on me.
Not easy to say goodbye.
It's a very special Webster.
Tonight.
Next on Eyewitness Extra, prosecutors have begun to look into the scandal that is shaking the Guardian Angels. Did they stage attacks on themselves for publicity? We'll have the latest. And a policeman in New Jersey is being hunted for running a boarding house that was filled with rats.
Also today, one of TV's biggest soap opera stars is living in a real-life mess, and we'll have her story. And we'll also take you to a sneak preview of one of the biggest bargain sales ever. And it's happening this weekend. Next on Eyewitness Extra.
E.T. rocks out with Donna Summer and Kim Carnes, plus Stacy Keach, and a look at Nick Nolte's Under Fire on the next Entertainment Tonight at 7:30 tonight on Channel 7.
This is for Big Bob. This is for Little Bob.
This is for Big Bob. It's hard trying to please everyone, but we've got a little something that might help. New pasta shapes and sauces. Brand new from good old Muller's. 5 delicious new side dishes.
This is for Big Bob and for Little Bob.
The sauces are tasty.
Hey!
And the shapes delightful.
Thanks, Mom.
So try new pasta shapes and sauces from Muller's.
It's for Big Bob and Little Bob.
We are Pepsi free, caffeine free. Taste how good a cola can be. We are Pepsi free, caffeine free. All that taste is caffeine free.
Hey, America, you're gonna love the great cola taste of regular Pepsi Free. And wait till you try delicious Diet Pepsi Free. There's no Diet Cola like it.
We are Pepsi free, caffeine free. Taste how good a cola can be. We are Pepsi free.
Fight back. Call 577-TIPS.
Good afternoon on this Friday. I'm Bill Butel, and this is Eyewitness Extra.
And I'm Ernie Anastas, and let's tell you what's happening right now. Charges that the head of the Guardian Angels faked attacks on his group has New Jersey officials interested. Curtis Sliwa, founder and head of the Guardian Angels, was accused yesterday by 4 former Angels. Well, today, McGee Hickey learned the Essex County DA's office found enough in the charges to take another look at the incident in Newark involving the Angels.
Do I have reason to believe that Curtis Sliwa lied during Frankie Melvin investigation? Well, none of the information that he provided to us turned out to be true. Now, is he lying intentionally or is he mistaken? This remains to be seen.
In 1981, Angel Frank Melvin was killed by Newark police who thought he was a burglar. A grand jury later cleared police of any wrongdoing, but Sliwa still claimed the shooting was cold-blooded murder. Yesterday, ex-Angel Eric Kappel and 3 others claimed Sliwa faked other violent incidents to discredit police.
I hope that Eric Cable and the other Guardian Angels who have come forward will assist me in determining whether or not Curtis Sliwa intentionally misrepresented facts to our law enforcement officials here in Essex County.
The Essex County prosecutor says that if he finds that Sliwa encouraged any of the 9 Angels who testified before the grand jury to lie, then Sliwa himself may be charged with obstruction of justice. Schneider is planning to meet with ex-Angel Eric Kappel on Monday because of his claims. And because of these allegations now against Sliwa by 4 of his former colleagues, the Manhattan and the Brooklyn DA's offices have reopened 2 probes into Angel incidents. One last March sniper attack against Angel Gary Clementi, the other involving Sliwa's wife, Lisa. The ex-Angels claim she lied when she claimed she was attacked by 3 men as she worked alone in Angel's headquarters last March. Today, most people we interviewed on the street said they support Sliwa and the Guardian Angels.
I believe the Forks Angels are lying because I work in Penn Station, New York, and I've seen these guys in action, and I know they're doing good for the community.
You believe Curtis Sliwa, you don't believe the 4 Angels who are saying he's a liar?
I don't believe the 4 Angels. I don't.
I think both sides have axes to grind, and I think they're both making accusations at each other.
The Essex County prosecutor would not say what facts Sliwa could have been lying about. Neither the Brooklyn nor the Manhattan DA's office would comment on their reopened investigations. All they would say is that they are reviewing the affidavits because of these new claims of lying and cheating. Ernie?
Thank you, McGee. At the trial of 2 women trying to win their jobs back as New York City firefighters, Fire Commissioner Joseph Spinato testified that he wanted the city's first female firefighters evaluated fairly and feels that his officers did their best to be fair when they gave unsatisfactory reviews to firefighters Brenda Berkman and Zeta Gonzalez. Now, the 2 are seeking to be reinstated on the grounds that they had been treated unfairly. Bill?
Health officials in New Jersey want to question a Newark police officer. He's Anthony Fama, and he owns a boarding house in Broad Street in Newark that was shut down this morning. More than a dozen families had to evacuate the building, infested by rats. They say that's not the only problem.
They have nothing in here for safety. There's no smoke detectors, no fire alarms, no fire escapes, no second means of egress.
The families have been moved to nearby hotels for shelter. In the meantime, the landlord has said nothing at all about it. Another home in trouble. This one belongs to the soap opera star Robin Strasser. I think you know she appears on One Life to Live, and Maxine Black reports this afternoon. Problems with her home are making Robin Strasser's life very tough to live.
It's nothing you should stay awake about, and it's not bigger than a bread box.
Emmy Award-winning actress Robin Strasser. She plays the elegant Dorian Lord Callison on One Life to Live. Her present job is acting on a soap, but her life off-camera has also turned into a soap. She purchased this brownstone with hopes of turning it into her dream house. It has turned into a nightmare.
What you're sitting in now, my little house, represents a lot to me. And to see it pulled apart and to have masonry falling off the 3rd floor because the foundation is missing, not only makes me feel endangered because every penny I have is invested in this house, and it's really, really a catastrophe.
Robin, as Dorian, has been in hot water. Well, here's Robin ankle deep in cold water, in her basement, just one of the many little inconveniences. As bad as this kitchen looks, believe it or not, it was much, much worse. But still, no cooking. So what's a person to do?
I decided to make seafood pasta on a hot plate. This is not easy. This is a test of a cook, you know. So I left the studio doing Dory and Rich, you know. As a matter of fact, I said to Herb in one scene, "Herb, what shall I tell Cook to make for dinner?" And he said, "Poached anything." I said, "Poached salmon. I'll tell Cook." And off I went. And I come home to the hot plate on the table, trying to make dinner for the children. It came out very well.
For legal reasons, the name of the contractor cannot be revealed, but Robin's loss is your gain.
I welcome anybody, if my name is used as a recommendation, to please call me and double check.
Robin's found a new contractor. She hopes she'll get her money back from the old contractor. Will there be a happy ending? We'll have to tune in a couple of months and find out. Maxine Black, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
When we come back in a moment, we're going to take a preview of a big sale in New York this weekend. It's called the Treasures and Pleasures Show. We're going to show you what you can pick up there.
Okay, and we're also going to show you how a machine is making things nicer along the Long Island Railroad system when we continue.
Sit, Andros, I'll do that.
She'll do that.
You're not using Brillo? I switched to SOS.
Our family uses Brillo.
I know, but SOS has special soap that cuts grease better.
We have grease.
SOS even works better on burnt-on grease.
We have that, too.
And SOS makes everything feel so clean.
You're done already?
Just because you're used to something doesn't mean you shouldn't try something better.
She's got a point. So how come you're still married to Mo? Now, she's got a point.
Now what are you making?
We're even having waffles for breakfast.
Waffles? That's not how Mommy makes them.
Daddies make them their own way. No, everything's fine, hon. Gotta go. Love you.
Here's how Mommy makes them.
Aunt Jemima waffles. Crispy outside, tender inside. Good old-fashioned waffles.
Just like Mommy makes.
You made me love you.
It's the best play of the year.
It got Tony Award for Best Play.
Best play, of course.
Super show.
I can see why it won the Tony.
It deserves it. I think it's a fabulous play.
The best play I've ever seen.
I just saw 6 plays this week, and this is the best. It's Broadway the way I'd like it to be. It's theater the way I'd like it to be.
It's Torch Song, Tony Award winner, Best Play. Call 944-9300.
The only thing I've seen on Broadway all year that I would have paid more for.
Nobody bakes a cake as tasty as a tasty cake. Nobody bakes a cake as tasty as a tasty cake. A tasty cake. Nobody bakes a cake as tasty as a tasty cake. Nobody bakes a cake as tasty as a tasty cake.
If you've been out of work for rather a long time and your benefits have run out, you may be getting some help from the federal government. Congress has given final approval to an 18-month extension of federal unemployment benefits. And this means almost $5 million to 4 million unemployed people. Ernie?
Bill, the Long Island Railroad will keep at least 5 people employed, keeping their stations clean with the help of the garbage gobbler. Now, the gobbler was unveiled today. Simply put, it's a large vacuum cleaner that sucks up trash left behind by commuters. Now, the trash is not only unsightly, it's also dangerous.
The garbage accumulates, particularly newspapers and the like, and if it then goes on fire, which it's not too difficult with all the high voltage electricity about, or cigarettes or whatever, then it can set platforms afire. It can cause a fire that causes the fire brigade, the fire people to come in, and they have to turn off the electricity while they're spraying water in the vicinity. So we've had frequently disruptions caused by fires in the location of our tracks. And so this is a major effort to try to overcome that particular source of problem.
All right, and if the gobbler gobbles enough trash and the LIRR is satisfied, then their plans are to certainly buy some more. Gobble, gobble.
Bargain sales very often turn out to be nothing more than large vacuum cleaners that suck up money, but there is a good bargain sale this weekend, Phyllis Eliasberg tells me just a moment ago when I asked her. She's going to tell us about it now.
Well, you know, Bill, this is really the time of year to get bargains, and that's because charitable organizations, many of them, have their fairs and bazaars now, so that Christmas shoppers can do their shopping at low prices and help the charity at the same time. Usually all the merchandise that you find at a bazaar is donated and sold at wholesale prices or lower. Well, today we got a sneak preview of one bazaar being held this weekend that should be a knockout.
This marketplace that's going up is the end result of 9 months of hard labor. This bazaar is the baby of the Fashion Group Foundation. They'll be ready to open tomorrow with treasures for sale. All new, all first quality merchandise at wholesale prices. And all the proceeds benefit charity.
All of the money earned here at this event for the next 3 days goes to charity. All of it, every penny.
We also work in the community. 13 years ago, we did a similar market, nowhere near as grand and not with anywhere near as many things to sell, but we raised money at that time to help build the Addicts Rehabilitation Center.
Some of the former addicts from the center supported by the Fashion Group are now supporting them.
It turned me around. Give me another way to see the world like it's supposed to be, and I'm proud of that.
Came here to work, why?
I want to lend my services, because I appreciate the lady, what she done for us 12 years ago.
All these boxes contain hidden treasures that will be uncovered later today. One definite thing we know about them, though, is they are all bargains. We saw some of the contents. You can find boots from Finland, cosmetics at 50% off, gift items like china figures and vases, exotic flowers in exotic leaf wrappings, and Hawaiian leis made from thousands of flower petals. There are serviceable flannel nightgowns and slinky ones, too. Where else could you find a glamorous teddy for 15 bucks? In clothing, you can get everything from kids' clothes, a ski jacket, to an elegant sequined blouse that costs $250 retail, $125 wholesale, and for you, $100. Because the bazaar is sponsored by the fashion industry, name brands are the rule.
Everything under the roof here would be about, the two halls would be about $250,000.
We can all buy $250,000 worth of merchandise at wholesale?
Wholesale. Strictly wholesale.
There's a lot here we couldn't show you, but if you want to see for yourself, the Treasures and Pleasures Fair is at St. Ignatius Loyola Church at 84th Street and Park Avenue in Manhattan. It's open on Saturday from 11 to 7, Sunday from 12 to 6, and Monday from 10 to 2.
The admission is a donation of $2, but for that you get a tasting of wine and cheese and a free gift. You can also have lunch there on Saturday and Sunday. And also during the piece you may have noticed that there was a short section in black and white. Don't call the repair person, it wasn't your set. We had some technical difficulties. Bill?
Little tasting of wine and cheese and a free gift.
Yes.
Thank you, Phyllis. The biggest event of the weekend, of course, is the New York City Marathon, and today some of the 1,700 runners were at the Sheraton Center Hotel checking in for the race. Sunday, just after 10:30 in the morning, they begin the 26-mile race through all the 5 boroughs. You'll be able to watch it live right here on ABC Channel 7 from start to finish, beginning at 10 a.m. If you missed that, tune in for a special at 5:30, special wrap-up here on Channel 7. Ernie?
We have it all this weekend, and Ira Joe will be telling us about the weather for the marathon weekend when we come right back. Stay with us.
And we'll see how Nancy Reagan is doing in her war on drugs since her national television appearance last week, when we continue in a moment.
with us throughout our 2-hour look at drug.
Different people have different kinds of coughs. A dry cough, a cough that keeps you awake, a cough with a stuffed up nose. And some people have a combination of symptoms. That's why there are 4 different kinds of Robitussin. Each contains an expectorant to help loosen phlegm, one a cough suppressant to quiet coughs, one adds a decongestant to relieve stuffy nose. One combines all these relief actions. 4 different Robitussin cough medicines for different kinds of coughs. Which Robitussin should you take? Ask your doctor or pharmacist.
I've been working around the clock, putting together this great 24-hour carpet sale at Kaufman. From 9:30 a.m. to 9:30 p.m., Friday and Saturday, rush to Kaufman for savings of $4 to $12 a square yard on a special group of broadloom. Now just $8.99 to $12.99, and that includes installation over genuine rubber padding. But hurry, at 9:30 p.m. Saturday, the lights go out, and Kaufman's 24-hour sale is history.
Kaufman, the carpet experts, we've got it all.
P.S. I love you.
P.S. I love you.
Progresso Soup, I love you for your minestrone.
I love you for your new beef minestrone.
Progresso Soup, I love you for 30 years of lentil.
I love you for your new chicken noodle. The best tasting soup this side of my soup.
Progresso Soup, I love you.
P.S. I love you.
P.S. I love you.
Back in August, Siemens Furniture helped celebrate their 50th anniversary with a fabulous 1-year interest-free financing offer. Your response was so overwhelming, Siemens is going to offer it again. 1-year interest-free financing from date of delivery for all qualified buyers with deposit. Just visit any Siemens showroom before midnight, October 29th. Get the beautiful Siemens furniture you want. And incredibly, Siemens pays the interest for you for 1 year. Now that's the way to a beautiful home.
Top officials in the administration of former President Nixon are in court. They are trying to stop the release of what they call the special file, which could prove embarrassing. It contains candid assessments of how Nixon's staffers felt about some members of Congress and other high-ranking officials. The file also reveals communications between Nixon and his aides. The papers are set for release on November the 10th. Well, last week, First Lady Nancy Reagan hosted Good Morning America as part of her campaign against drug abuse. The program aired over the 12th, with Mrs. Reagan participating in many discussions where families with drug abuse problems could get help. Yesterday at the White House, the First Lady showed some of the more than 800 responses that she's received since being on that program. Many contained thank yous for her efforts. The White House is helping with some great treatment, and as a result of the program, 3 people have already been placed in treatment centers. Bill?
I'd like Ira Joe Fisher to know that I really enjoyed today, and I'd like to congratulate you personally for bringing it to us.
No. As I've often said, no, please, I didn't bring it to you. I only talked about it yesterday, and in fact...
But it heard you speaking in King.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I had a kind of inviting lilt to my voice?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't think about that. You're welcome, Bill. Would you like to see a really inviting satellite picture?
Show it to us.
Here it comes. Oh, that satellite picture. This is one of the good ones. Isn't it nice? Huh? You'll see that the northeastern part of the country just kind of peeking through the clouds up here. That's because a high-pressure ridge centered right about there in southeastern Canada. I know this is a broken record. That high-pressure ridge has been there. It's boring. It's not moving. But what can we say? It is, for the most part, at least kept the skies in a large part of the Empire State quite sunny, and in other parts of the Northeast as well. But you also see this mass of moisture, and it's thickened considerably since yesterday. It's being pushed into the area by a low-pressure trough, the center of which is still out in the Ohio Valley. But it is moisture-laden. It has caused a lot of rain to fall in the Midwest and in the Mississippi Valley, and as far east as the East Coast. Virginia, North Carolina also had some rain. Let's hop on over at the map right now, okay? Well, not hop. Let's kind of stroll on over at the map, okay? Going to be a lot of hopping and running on Sunday, but today we can just kind of take it easy and relax. This strong high is going to keep our skies clear and cause, or allow, depending upon your point of view, temperatures to drop tonight into the 20s in a lot of suburbs, as happened last night, and there will again tonight be scattered frost across the landscape. It'll be sunny, but only in the mid-50s tomorrow. Now, this Ohio Valley low is villainous in a number of areas in our nation and threatens to be perhaps villainous in our area, too. It's moving toward us slowly with at least some clouds probably by Sunday afternoon, and it, at least from this vantage now of a Friday, threatens on Sunday night to give us some rain, but it should be after after the marathon concludes. And I don't know, is it better to run in cloudy weather than sunny? I mean, I don't know much about running. I don't know that much about walking in the weather, you know. Our temperature today, as far as highs are concerned, got up to 54. Overnight low was 41 in the city, but a lot of the northern and eastern and western suburbs went down into the 20s, upper 20s last night, so it was really chilly. I would highly recommend, if you're planning on watching the marathon on Sunday, that you dress appropriately. Even if you're not planning on watching the marathon on Sunday, you know, some ear lappers and a little stocking cap would be really in order. Not fashionable, but warm. I mean, even if you're not even concerned about the marathon, if you're going to be outside raking leaves or kicking them around, by all means, wear something that'll keep you nice and warm. We're at 53 degrees right now, and our relative humidity is at 48%. We have a barometer that has decided, for whatever barometric reason, to be steady at 30.55 inches in the winds right now from the cold and heartless northeast, 10 miles an hour. Here's your forecast for tonight. Our skies clear. Temperatures dropping to right around 40 degrees in the city, but the 30s in the suburbs, and some select suburbs might even see temperatures go into the upper 20s tonight. Tomorrow, while there will be sunshine aplenty and abounding, the temperature will only climb into the middle 50s. So it would behoove all of us to dress accordingly, and I think to enjoy it. It is the time of year when it's not a surprise. You know, if this were Daytona
Might not be a
Beach,
bad weekend for your run in the marathon, though.
You think so, because of the temperatures?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I think you'll enjoy it this year.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Can't imagine enjoying running, Bill.
Thank you, Ira, very much for the weather forecast. There's a rescue mission on for those Russian cosmonauts who may be stranded in space. We're going to have details about that next.
And also the right stuff opening across America today. We'll talk with one of the original Mercury astronauts who's still on the go, Chuck Yeager, when Eyewitness Extra continues.
This is the taste. This is the test. Pepsi versus Coke. The Pepsi Challenge. Pepsi. And all across America, more people pick Pepsi. Time after time after time.
Pepsi Cola.
Oh, what a time. It's gonna be Pepsi now. The winning taste is Pepsi. It's gonna be Pepsi now. Taste what Pepsi's giving. It's gonna be Pepsi now.
Everyone is owing their luck to Lotto, New York's $1 million game, where you have 2 chances to win a fortune for just $1. And it's easy. Pick 6 numbers from 40 in each game and fill them in on the Lotto bet slip. Then, make your bet at your Lotto numbers agent and get your Lotto bet ticket. Now, check your numbers against the drawing on TV every Saturday night. 6 right has already made some lucky New Yorkers multimillionaires. Remember, you've got to be in it to win it.
Here are your lines. I'm Dinah Shore.
I can remember that.
Then you say Holly Farms chicken has a guaranteed freshness date.
Got it.
Holly Farms has more plump tender meat per pound than most any other chicken.
Okay. Now, when do you get the part about the taste?
Oh, there's no taste in the script, Dinah.
I know that, but I'm talking about the taste of the chicken because I cooked it and it's very good for my cookbook. That's important, really.
Yeah, but you have to say more good cooks cook Holly Farms than any other chicken.
I do?
Mm-hmm.
That's too complicated. More good. No, America is cooking with Holly Farms.
That's perfect.
You like it?
Yes.
I can go with...
Guess what you'll find in Chips Ahoy?
Yummy cookies.
Anything else?
16 real chocolate chips.
Anything else?
Carefree gum.
It's Chips Ahoy's Finders Keepers game. Whatever you find in these specially marked packages, you keep. Wanna play?
Yes.
Lucky gum wrappers could win you
An Atari computer. Electronic game watch. $25,000. You sure this is for keeps?
whatever you find in Chips Ahoy cookies, you keep.
The Russians have launched an unmanned supply ship toward their Soyuz space station. The Soviet Union continues to deny persistent reports that the 2 cosmonauts on board the space station are in any danger. The space station has developed a leak of its propellant, and the cosmonaut Soyuz spaceship attached to the station is no longer safe to be used for a trip back to Earth. The cargo ship with food and fuel and other cargo for the cosmonauts was launched Thursday, and that was just one day after the Russians began to deny that they were having any problems at all on this trip in space.
Well, the long-awaited movie about America's original astronauts, The Right Stuff, opened in New York today, and it is expected to be a big hit with all the rave reviews that it's been getting. And today, Tracy Egan brings us behind the scenes for a look at one of the real-life heroes of The Right Stuff.
This is the story of the men who had the right stuff.
They all want to see Buck Rogers, and that's us.
Do you have your own definition of what is the right stuff?
being successful like I have, I think it's more important to be at the right place at the right time and have the right dedication and skills to succeed and have a hell of a lot of luck, or at least enough to survive.
Retired Air Force General Chuck Yeager still flinches when he's called a hero. But this month makes 36 years since he became the first human to break the sound barrier, and everyone who lines up to see the right stuff will look at him as a hero. He'll be getting the recognition he didn't get when he flew Mach 1, the speed of sound, because the military kept that flight a secret.
When we broke Mach 1 with the X-1, it was classified, and the reason that it was classified, we found out that you needed a flying tail to maneuver or control an airplane through the speed of sound. And, you know, it was 4 or 5 years before British, French, or Russians or anyone found that out. So that was the reason it was classified, and rightly so.
So fame is catching up to Yeager. If you've flown commercially, you've probably heard his West Virginia drawl long before you heard of him. Legend has it that pilots consciously pick up his no-fuss, down-home way of talking, as if some of the Yeager stuff will rub off on them.
I don't pay a lot of attention to it. A lot of pilots used to mimic my drawl and accent back in the old days. And I've cleaned my act up a little bit since then.
I asked Yeager if he thinks the Right Stuff's portrayal of John Glenn as the moralistic, straight-laced astronaut will rub off on Glenn's chances of becoming president.
Films about John Glenn, the astronaut. And people going to vote for John Glenn, the politician, because John Glenn ain't no astronaut anymore, he's a politician.
You think he's tough enough?
Right now, I don't think so. Because in order to be the President of the United States, you've got to be a pretty tough guy. And the Soviets, I think, have to respect your toughness. And I'm sure John Glenn could develop into a tough enough person, but right now I don't think he is.
Besides, the X series of jets Yeager tested were the first rockets men ever rode into the sky. And they were pilot-controlled, not ground-controlled.
Anybody can do it now. Gosh, they were sending monkeys up, and they weren't very well educated.
Yeager says he likes the way Sam Shepard portrays him in the movie. Besides, they had a lot in common.
He talked like I did, and walked like I did, and acted like I did. And he's really a neat guy.
In the movie, Yeager has a bit part as a bartender in the test pilot's favorite watering hole. He also served as a consultant during filming to help bring realism to the movie. One of the most exciting scenes is the flight of the NF-104, the last jet Yeager ever tested. He took it 20 miles up, only to have it go out of control, forcing him to eject at 7,000 feet.
What were you thinking when you were coming down? Did you expect to die?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah. Yeah, in fact, I thought, what a sorry way to go. Some of the old pilots, we get together once in a while and, you know, tell lies, and it gets better every year.
Tracy Egan, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Interesting. Chuck Yeager talks about the right place, the right time, the right stuff, and it all began with the Wright brothers.
Hey, oh, that's very good, Bill. Well, all systems go for the weekend anyway. We're looking forward to it. By the way, just to remind you that next week we have a special coming up on lottery winners, how they're living now. So watch for that next week. For now, I'm Ernie Anastas. Have a nice weekend.
I hope they're living well. I'm Bill Butel. I'll be back at 6. Here now, Tom and Peggy.
Thank you, gentlemen. Good afternoon, everybody. New Yorkers still talking about the Guardian Angels today, talking about charges against the Angels, faked incidents of violence to gain sympathy for the organization. We'll have the latest on the investigation of those charges coming up next, and we'll hear from both sides in the Angels dispute as they face each other live here in our studios.
We'll also hear new warnings about birth control pills. Singer Stevie Wonder holds a news conference to thank New Yorkers for helping make a dream come true. And Katie Kelly reviews a new movie starring Nick Nolte. It's called Under Fire. That's next right here on Eyewitness News.
Feeling of clean you get with Lysol deodorizing cleaner.
It's a feeling of spring, it's in the air. What a sparkle, what a shine. It's a feeling of freshness everywhere.
Lysol cleaner leaves your house feeling like you just did spring cleaning. It even kills germs. The house is so clean you can smell it in the air.
It's a feeling of freshness everywhere.
Lysol deodorizing cleaner. Spring cleaning in a bottle every time.
There's more and more in Sunday's Daily News. In the magazine, in TV Week, in Parade, in sports.
This Sunday's New York's Marathon Sunday. And the Daily News covers it from start to finish, including a helpful map of the race routes. And next day in Monday's Daily News, an exclusive pullout listing every valiant finisher, position, and time.
TV Week previews Michael Nouri and Kelly Harmon in the new sports soaper Bay City Blues. And Norman Mailer writes all about Clint Eastwood.
in Parade.
Then keep up with Jimmy Breslin's novel, Table Money, as he beats his daily deadlines.
What a way to write a book.
Play new Triple Pay and win a Buick Century Olympia.
Or this creme de mink coat from Fred the Furrier's Fur Vaults at Alexander's. We've still got $100,000 Zingo, too.
Why not get your daily news delivered at home? Call 1-800-331-1000 and get your daily news at home 7 days a week.
The eyes, the ears, the honest voice of New York, the Daily News.
Marathon special tomorrow night at 7:30. This is the 5 o'clock Eyewitness News with Tom Snyder, Kaidi Tong, Ira Jo Fisher, Katie Kelly, and the Eyewitness News team.
Good afternoon, everybody. Here's what's happening on Friday. Authorities in New York and New Jersey are now looking at evidence that the Guardian Angels staged incidents of violence to gain support for their crime patrol group. This evidence is in the form of signed affidavits by 4 former members of the Angels. They claim that top Guardian Angels Curtis and Lisa Sliwa faked attacks on themselves simply for publicity. Well, Curtis Sliwa told us here yesterday those charges are lies. He says his accusers are in league with the police, the cops, who are trying to get even with him for an incident last month. During a news conference then, Sliwa tore up a retraction he had worked out with Newark police after charging they deliberately killed a Guardian Angel.
I hope that Eric Cable and the other Guardian Angels who have come forward will assist me in determining whether or not Curtis Sliwa intentionally misrepresented facts to our law enforcement officials here in Essex County. And if he did so, then he's subject to criminal prosecution.
That was a prosecutor in New Jersey saying he is reopening the case because of the new charges brought by the former Angels that came out yesterday. Here in Manhattan, there is still no comment on the investigation from DA Robert Morgenthau. They say they are simply looking at new evidence at the DA's office. The bottom line to the story, it's a question of who is telling the truth. Who do we believe? In just a few moments, we'll let you decide for yourself when Curtis and Lisa Sliwa join us live to face for the first time their accusers, the 4 ex-Angels who made the charges in the newspapers. We'll try and get to the bottom of this whole thing and shed some light, hopefully not some heat, on the story involving the Guardian Angels here in New York. Kaidi.
In other news tonight, 2 tenement buildings in Newark have been declared unsafe, and a dozen families have been moved out for their protection. The buildings were described as rat holes. Well, as Doug Johnson tells us, it turns out they're owned by a Newark police officer.
For the people on this Newark sidewalk, it was something they'd all experienced before, leaving yet another rundown apartment building catering to welfare recipients.
How long did you live there?
6 years.
6
My
years?
son's here, yeah.
Well, didn't this landlord ever fix anything up?
He no fix nothing.
Really?
He only come pick up the money, that's all.
Well, how could you live in this place? I mean, it's a total wreck.
It's better than a street. I can't stand the street.
The New Jersey Department of Community Affairs and the Attorney General's office teamed up to close these 2 buildings because they had dozens of violations. There are so many violations in these houses, it's hard to keep track of them, but here's a very graphic one. Now, this is the banister leading from the 1st to 2nd floors. Not only is the banister loose, all the rungs are broken out. There are no lights in this hallway. How someone didn't get killed coming down here is a miracle.
Every one of these fuses have been filled with tinfoil to try to give them extra strength, which causes all of these things to be overloaded. This is the surest way to start a fire.
This is one of 2 bathrooms in this building, a building which housed 9 families. This building had no heat, no lights in some cases. The landlord would do nothing.
They have nothing in here for safety. There's no smoke detectors, no fire alarms, no fire escapes, no second means of egress, and all the other violations that you have saw in there, electrically and all of them. They're all bad.
And these buildings belong, who owns them?
They're owned by a Newark policeman called Anthony Fama, F-A-M-A. And these are his buildings.
Now, he surely must have been notified of violations.
Well, as I said, we inspected them last week. We started right up violations. We served him notice that he had these violations and we were going to close the place down. He had until 4 o'clock yesterday to appeal it. Turn it down, then answer the appeal.
Anthony Fama, the policeman who owns these buildings, was unavailable for comment. He is, quote, on special assignment. However, apparently he is thousands of dollars behind in the real estate taxes and utilities. He doesn't have a problem with the heat bill because apparently the buildings don't have any heat. And his wife complained to a local newspaper that it was unfair that they inspected these buildings without warning them. In Newark, Doug Johnson, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
If you own a 1983 General Motors car, midsize or smaller, there may be a problem with your brakes. GM is recalling 350,000 such cars to check for unsafe brakes. The company says faulty brake system valves on the cars have caused at least 5 minor accidents. Luckily, no injuries. Meantime, the government today ordered GM to recall more than 100,000 1979 Chevettes for violating federal air pollution standards. Tom?
Cardi, questions about school bus safety are also being raised in New Jersey this afternoon, as Gloria Rojas tells us. Specifically, parents want to know how safe the drivers of the buses are, following a series of accidents in the area and other places as well.
The Jewish Educational Center in Elizabeth, really 2 separate high schools for boys and girls, has a rigorous academic program. Students are required to carry a load much heavier than public school students do. The students come from communities as far away as the shore, and about a quarter of them travel to the school by bus. But what standards are there for the buses and vans that bring the students to school? What standards are there for the people driving them? Most of the 170 children here feel safe.
Usually don't worry about what's going on with the driver. I mean, it just never enters your mind, usually, unless it's raining or snowing, and you have a right to be nervous.
It's bad weather, a little nervous, but mostly I'm safe, feel safe.
But just last week, one of the vans overturned and 14 kids were taken to Rawway Hospital, complaining of bumps and bruises and complaining about the driver, too.
The vans really aren't that safe, I don't think, and I think that they should get competent people to drive them.
Luckily, Lauren Schnack didn't miss a day of school, but the driver of the van was issued 4 summonses. Unsafe changing of lanes, driving with a suspended license, operating an unregistered vehicle, and failure to obtain a school bus license. The driver chose not to talk to us, but the dean of the school spoke to us early this morning.
These vans are inspected twice a year by the state. And the van in question, in fact, had its inspection and was inspected within 2 months of the time of the accident.
Every year in New Jersey, 300 kids are injured on the school buses and vans. Those figures come from the Department of Education. Nationwide, the numbers jump to 10,000, the injuries ranging from minor to serious. On Tuesday, 41 kids were injured in Templeton, California, requiring hospitalization. On the same day, another 23 hurt in Key Largo, Florida. How safe are the buses?
There are many multiple fatality accidents throughout the country where the injuries and the fatalities could be reduced if the people were wearing seat belts.
Dr. Yeager's mission is to get parents interested so that they'll pressure their school districts to get those seat belts not only installed, but also worn. And besides that, those roof hatches, those extra emergency doors, the higher seats, all those measures that protect children in New York, but not here in New Jersey. Gloria Rojas, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
Overseas, the British have come up with new evidence the oral contraceptive pill could cause cancer. 2 studies in England found a higher than normal incidence of breast and cervical cancers among women who had taken the pill over a prolonged period of time. Tom?
As we've been saying, Kites, next up we're going to try and get some more information on the Guardian Angel squabble here in New York, trying to get to the bottom of this whole thing. Both sides in the dispute are here live. They'll face each other with the charges and the counter-charges, and hopefully some light on this situation as we continue.
And later we're going to hear from singer Stevie Wonder about the new Martin Luther King holiday. Gourmet Bert Wolf will be here also with the recipe for a delicious ice cream dessert that you can make at home. And as we promised you yesterday, we'll take a look at the new Broadway show about Marilyn Monroe.
Be the happiest day. Hello. I'm about to offer you, for free, something that no company ever offered for free before.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. Have a real nice day.
30 minutes of long-distance calling when you sign up with MCI, the company that regularly saves you 30, 40, even 50% on long distance. Just call MCI. The 30 free minutes are good to any other phone in any other state from coast to coast. But call now while the supply of free talk lasts.
Gooey chocolate chip cookies, butter pecan ice cream, and mashed potatoes with country fried gravy. I love them. And that's why I love Sweet and Low. If you're gonna splurge, you gotta pay, right? Well, this makes it a lot easier for me and about 29 million other people. It tastes great. It's been around for years, and it has just 2 little calories per teaspoon. Now, you could pay a lot more for another sugar substitute. But why would you want to do a thing like that?
Wherever you go, Sweet and Low.
Now through Monday, come to Gimbel's anniversary sale for sensational savings.
Save 25% on the classic look of pure wool jackets and beautiful full-length coats. Save 25 to 30% on a fabulous collection of famous Make or Fall separates, blazers, pants, sweaters, and shirts. Men save 25% on Arrow and Van Heusen dress shirts and 30% on great-looking slacks from Botany 500. Sensational savings for the whole family during Gimbel's anniversary sale, now through Monday. Don't miss it.
Look, I got a McDonald's treat over here. Come on.
This year, help us make Halloween safe for the kids with McDonald's trick-or-treat certificates. Just buy a $1 book filled with 12 McDonald's dessert goodies to give as safe treats, and you'll get our jack-o'-lantern for the front door, so kids and parents will know where to find McDonald's safe treats.
There's another one.
So buy McDonald's treat coupons and get a jack-o'-lantern for your door.
Trick-or-treat!
And make this Halloween a safe and happy one.
For the past few days here, we've been reporting charges made by 4 former members of the Guardian Angels who were accusing Angels leaders Curtis and Lisa Sliwa of faking incidents of violence to make it appear as if the Angels are being harassed by police and to gain public sympathy. With us live again today is Curtis Sliwa and his wife Lisa, and we have with us for the first time the 4 Angels who made the charges. They are, from my left to the right, Gary Clemente, Eric Capel, Danny Medeiros, and Robert Ramirez. Since we last talked yesterday, some new information has come up here about the continuing investigation into these incidents by the district attorney's offices both in New Jersey and in New York. How confident are you that your version is going to stand up against future investigations?
Total confidence, and I might add, if we remember yesterday, I was being called upon because I insisted that this had something to do with the ripping up of the apology in Newark. No way would any Newark authorities be involved in this. Today, what do we see? Top of the show, Schneider in Essex saying, I hope Mr. Capel and the other young men will come over here so that we can prosecute Mr. Sliwa for having wrongfully slandered these individuals. All of a sudden, all these needles are seeming to find their way into the haystack.
Now, yesterday I had Mr. Sliwa here by himself, and we didn't have a chance to ask you the question that he asked me. You say now that you faked an incident of violence at a housing project in Brooklyn some months ago, right? Yes. Why didn't you say something then? Why did you wait 4 months or 3 months or 2 months, all of you, to come forward? Why not at the time that you say he was faking all this stuff? Why didn't you blow the whistle on him then?
Okay, at that time we were still in the Guardian Angels, like I said, and at the same period of time, what he said went. Like go, whatever he said went. We were still in the Angels. What we did, we believe it was right for the Guardian Angels.
And you said you went and bought the firecrackers, didn't you?
Absolutely.
And
so.
You set off firecrackers that were supposed to be gunshots that wounded Mr. Clemente here.
On March 2nd, I set off 3 firecrackers from a roof in the Van Dy projects.
And at the time, you didn't say anything about it. You waited until...
At the time, if Curtis Sliwa would have asked me to jump, I would have said, ha.
Why?
Because I believed in him, and I told him from day one, I believed in the Guardian Angels, and I would do anything for him.
But what changed your mind? Have you fellas made a deal with the cops to, as Curtis says, harass or punish the Guardian?
I heard Curtis mention just now about this Essex County prosecutor. The first time I ever heard that man's name was at 4 o'clock yesterday when I contacted the Post, and they told me that this guy, George Schneider, is trying to reach you. That was my first time ever in life hearing of his name or even speaking to him.
Why are you doing this now? Why are you bringing these allegations up now? Let's hear from Mr. Ramirez and Mr. Medeiros.
Why?
Yes.
After we talked to Rock and we called the strike. We told Rock that we weren't going to patrol because he wanted to keep Eric in jail, to get publicity, to say, oh, the poor Angel's in jail. He was set up by the cops, which was a lie. And we told him we weren't going to patrol. So then when Eric got out of jail, we all got together and we were talking about and we said we were fed up and we weren't going to go for it no more.
Your version, Mr. Ramirez?
Just about the same thing. We told him, let's go back to the old days. We trained like it used to be. We were supposed to have a meeting on October 17th. We never had the meeting. So we told him either, we go back to the old days or we don't come back.
Mrs. Sliwa, your name came into this whole thing yesterday by one of these gentlemen here claiming that you had somehow faked an attack upon yourself at Angels headquarters here in Manhattan, I believe, last March. They claimed that you appeared in a wheelchair after walking